Let's work through another ratio problem. All right, remember the first thing we're going to want to do is identify key pieces of information in this text. So it says you're playing a massive game of Among Us with students from your school. The ratio of crewmates to imposters is 5-1. There are 75 crewmates playing. How many imposters are there? All right, so of course our ratio is going to be important in a ratio problem. Our ratio is 5-1. What is each part of that reference? Well, first, the ratio of crewmates, that would go with the first number, which is 5. And then the second would go with the second. So imposters would go with the 1. And I can go ahead and start and create tape diagrams for that. So crewmates is going to be the 5 since they both come first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then imposters is going to be the 1 since those both come second. All right, what else is important here? There are 75 crewmates playing, and the big question of how many imposters are there? Big question is how many imposters there are. All right, so we need to use that next key piece of information to help inform what we do next. So it says there's 75 crewmates playing, and this is when we need to ask ourselves, 75 crewmates, does that reference a part of the ratio, or does it reference the whole of the ratio? Let's think about it. 75 crewmates. Crewmates. Is that a part of the ratio? Yeah, I could clearly see a part right here that says crewmates. So that means that crewmates has to total to 75. And if I know that diagram, all those boxes have to total to 75. Don't I have enough information to find the value of each one? Yeah, I certainly should. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes that have to add to 75, how would I find the value of each one? All we have to do is just simply divide by 5, and that will give us the value. And 75 divided by 5 is 15. So that means each box here equals 15. And if I know those boxes equal 15, don't I know what the other box equals? Yeah, all ratio parts are going to be the same. So that would mean that I can answer this final question, how many imposters are there? Well, from this model, it looks like there's just simply 15 imposters. And let's make sure this information still matches up with what is in our question. So 75 crewmates, that's in the question, right? We can see that match right here, cool. And then we found out how many imposters, 15 imposters. Let's make sure it's reasonable. Our ratio is 5-1. That means that there should be 5 times as many crewmates as imposters. If we did 15 times 5, that would equal 75. So it seems like that ratio works. There's 5 times as many. So we can be confident in our answer that there are 15 imposters. All right, so remember, the big mistake that people make is just falsely identifying the key piece of information if it references the part or the whole. So this time we didn't add 5 plus 1 and divide by 6 because that 75 crewmates just told us about the part. That's why we only divided by 5 and didn't add 5 and 1, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. Try the next examples.